Throp here again. As you're probably hearing, Jamaica is on an unprecedented economical tear, and I know many people are interested to learn how they might be able to buy property in Jamaica, move here, or even start a business. Enter Throp-X. This is my annual Jamaica investment conference hosted at Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. If you're even considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the best low-risk opportunity to do your due diligence and network with the very people driving the country forward. This event brings together a group of hand-picked, trusted, top-of-their-field individuals, the best developers, contractors, real estate pros, lenders, and government partners, all under one roof to help you make your move. This is very much an action-focused premium conference experience geared towards empowering you with the tools and team necessary to create your Jamaica dream. We've partnered with the Tax Administration of Jamaica to help you get your TRN and even open a bank account, all conveniently located on conference property. One of the most popular parts of the conference is the real estate tour. It's the best way to understand Jamaica's real estate market, seeing and experiencing properties firsthand so you can compare apples to apples. Another incredibly valuable part of the conference is the people you will meet. Attendees have been some of the most dynamic, inspiring individuals I have met doing incredible things with their lives. As always, this year will be fun, educational, and actionable, giving you the tools, insights, and connections to invest, build, and move to Jamaica. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list. Welcome to our newly renovated standard rooms, and this is our standard veranda, our balcony, depending on if you're on the first floor or the second floor. It comes with 2 chairs and a table. And this is our double queen room. And as you can see, we have our standard herring artwork on the walls with a accent wall and the wooden bed heads, and each bed has a reading lamp, and those reading lamps have USB type A outlets plus a standard outlet on the wall for you to plug in any electronics that you may have. Rooms also come standard with a flat screen television as well as a desk, coffee maker / tea maker that you can use in the mornings if you'd like, and you also have coffee and tea available to you as well. And we also have a mini fridge for your convenience. Of course, we are AC room. This is the Throp-X, this is Jamaica, but we also have a ceiling fan for you available as well if you prefer, or you want to use both. And moving on to the bathroom area, I just wanted to point out that all of our standard room doors now are using electronic key cards, which we are very happy about, and just much more easier to use from a hotel logistics standpoint. Moving into the bathroom, this is probably one of our most proudest renovations. Moving into the shower area, we have the rainfall shower head as well as the handheld shower head. And the designer went into the details of putting the shower together with this color schemes, but also the practicality of it. And I just want to highlight some of those. And one of them being the shower drain, as well as the shower heads, which you saw, which is all complementing each other. And of course, the shower amenities with this shelf for your convenience towards the back of the shower, and even where the shower faucet is, which is towards the back of the shower, which allows you to turn on the shower without getting wet. Moving on to the sink, it's also a black handle sink, which again just complements the design of the entire shower and bathroom, and it's all coordinated even with the room design. And as you can see, we have the towel hooks as well, which I really appreciate. And that in a nutshell is our newly renovated standard room. This podcast is supported by Discovery Water. Whether I'm working or training, I reach for Discovery Water. 100% premium Jamaican spring water. Bottled in glass, no plastic, no gimmicks. Refill, not landfill. Just clean, natural hydration from right here on the island. All right, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Started on time today. Kind of, sort of. Happy to be here. Love hearing, of course, getting started hearing where you all are chiming in from, what city, what state, what country. We have a pretty good show ahead of us. We have our first Throp-X guest coming on this afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And I'm really excited to have Mlela join us on the stream this evening. And pretty interesting story in repatriating, returning home, working here, starting a business, and making a real huge, mega, in my opinion, mega impact on Jamaica. And I'm excited to learn more about her and share her story with you all. And also, she's going to be at Throp-X this year, which I'm excited to have her on one of our panels. And so this is a bit of a preview to that, and for you all to get a different an idea of what's to come, and to hear from folks like her, and to also learn about architecture as well. I love construction. I love learning about the art and science of construction, but then I also love to learn about impact of different projects that are happening throughout Jamaica, and hearing it from an insider's perspective, I think, is going to be cool. So I'm anticipating a very nice conversation this evening. Do have some Throp-X updates. I'll repeat these at the end. I'm going to try to remember to repeat these updates at the end, because I think it's very, very important for people to kind of know where we are with things. And then also, yeah, I guess just general updates. So let's go into seeing where everybody's coming from, and we will get into the show. We got Mlela coming on in a few minutes at 5:30. So we don't got a lot of time to lollygag here, so to speak. All right. So starting off, we have, let's kill that. What's going on, Buffalo Soldier? Good to see you, Lisa. Nice to have you on, one of our think tankers there. Punty, what's going on? Good to have you on. Good to see you. And please listen, Adana, hit the like button on your way in. Helps out a tremendous amount. Jeff Rogerson, thank you for being a channel member. Appreciate you. Thank you. Chiming in from Montreal. Jay Fitch checking in from Atlanta. And Lisa's chiming in from Connecticut. So before I forget, I want to get this out. With the updates, for one of the main updates with Throp-X, I hope everybody got the newsletter. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, sign up as soon as you can. You can go to thropx.com. I would love to have you be a part of the community in that way. And we're gonna put out another newsletter tomorrow, just to update people on what's happening. So I guess a big update is that, like, tickets are going way faster than expected. So we are already at 50% sold out for Throp-X, and we haven't even started marketing yet. So our marketing campaign actually starts next week, and that's when we're going to be opening up, if you will, to the wider Jamaica. And we haven't, if you go to Instagram right now on my page, Throp-X Instagram, you're not going to see it anywhere. Like, it's only you guys, only this community, the live stream. This is the only place that we've been having these conversations, and also the newsletter as well. But no outside public marketing or push, social media, nothing. Maybe a few stories here and there that I put on my personal Instagram page. So again, if you're thinking about coming to Throp-X this year, please sign up before we are sold out. And I'm saying this to our internal community before we go public with it. And I know some people have already reached out to me personally on Instagram. Got actually a couple phone calls today about it, as a matter of fact. And I would just encourage you, if you're interested, book your hotel, book the hotel for sure, because that's going to go soon. I think we only have a few rooms left, as a matter of fact, but definitely book the tickets. And like I said, I don't want this to turn into a conference with like just too many people. And I really want to maintain the quality of the conference in terms of the value that you get from the education portion, the value that you get from the real estate tours that we're going to be doing, and then also the value you get from within the community. And I keep saying this, I can't overemphasize this, just the quality of the people who come to this conference. So again, just want to emphasize, and I'll remember to say it again, hopefully at the end, if you're thinking about getting tickets, please do it as soon as you can, because our public open campaign starts next week. So I say that to say that more people outside of the Throp community are going to be aware of the conference, and It's open up to the public to be purchased now anyway, but again, we haven't pushed it in any significant way. So just really happy to be pacing way ahead of last year, and that so many people have been interested through this channel organically, not doing any advertising whatsoever. So thank you all for those who've already purchased their tickets. Very much looking forward to meeting you all. Do want to remind people as well that if you can't make it in person, we do have virtual tickets available, so you can get those at Throp-X.com. We'd love to have you chime in virtually, and that's for 2 days. So that's for the education panels on the 17th and 18th. That's the Monday and Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. entire day. If you can't make it on the day, you can always watch the replay. Those will be up. If you signed up last year, as you know, you can still watch the replays from last year as well. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's go to some more comments here. Omar checking in from DC. Nice to have you on. Alfonso, what's going on, man? Unique Thompson chiming in from England. Nice to have you. Good night to you. Joshua, what's going on, man? Bros locked in. Awesome. Back in the UK. You'll be back soon enough, my man. You'll be back soon enough. Good night to you as well. Donna J, thank you for being a channel member. Appreciate you chiming in from New York. Staten Island in the building. I just finished watching Notice. Have you seen that movie? I thought it was really good. Good movie. Based in Staten Island. Just a complete aside. Very funny movie. Just watched it last night. Michelle, what's going on? Chiming in from Canada, making my transition back to Jamaica, building a business. Amazing to learn here. Awesome. Congratulations on your decision and on your move. Looking forward to welcoming you back home here in Jamaica officially, whenever that does happen. Felix chiming in from Atlanta. Nice to have you. What's going on, Mark? Mark says, hey, Throp and Throppers chiming in from Brampton, Canada. Awesome. Nice to have everybody on. Give me 1 second. I got to turn on the AC. I'll turn up the AC a little bit. Let me see. I hate to play another commercial. I'm trying to play something that you guys haven't seen in a bit. This is probably gonna be like 2 seconds. Oh, good. We can play Shirella and ad. They are a sponsor for Throp-X this year, so perfect. Give me 1 second. I'm like boiling in here.
My name is Daniel Grizzle. I'm the managing director of Shirella Inn, which is a family-owned and managed small 59-bedroom hotel situated right in the center of the famous Negril beach. And I would like very much to invite you all to come and experience what life is like here in Shirella Inn, to be part of our extended family. Several of the rooms are just open, overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea, and you have tall, waving coconut trees to welcome you and keep you cool on the beach. And you have a warm and interesting staff here ready to keep you comfortable, to make you feel at home, and to enjoy that you stay happy and peaceful.
All right, we're back. Thank you. Gonna get much cooler very soon. All right, so just a few more things before we welcome our guest onto the show here. Diplomat says Jamaica is the place to invest regardless of where in the world you are now. I think so. I definitely think so. You saw that what would I call this? The oil discovery in Jamaica journey has taken a next step. They've gotten approved for a bunch of different things, and one of them being, I should probably bring it up real quick. One of them being a NEPA approval, which is very, very important. So this is the exploration. Oil has not been discovered in Jamaica. This is for the exploration to see if there is oil. There is believed to be high potential that there is going to be oil there on the southern part of Jamaica to the south of Jamaica. And so I thought that was pretty exciting news, you know, that's moving forward, and who knows where that's going to go. Say that to also say is that I mentioned this before, is that the CEO of NEPA is going to be a speaker at Throp-X this year. those who don't know, NEPA is the National Environmental Planning Agency. Anything building infrastructure, quarry, like you have to go through NEPA. This is the organization that you're going to have to be intimately familiar with and develop a relationship with of some sort, professional relationship that is, if you're doing some sort of construction or development here in Jamaica. And then there are local planning authorities throughout Jamaica that you'll be in touch with depending on which parish that you are in. So for example, here in Negril, we have NGALPA, the Negril Green Island Planning Authority, and that falls under the umbrella of NEPA. So anytime that, for example, we are already an established hotel business, and say we're doing an expansion, or we have an open lot across the street, and we're doing anything significant to our existing property, we would have to apply for that. We'd have to submit our architecture work. I'm sure our guests can tell us all about that today. So our architecture work to the Negril Green Island Planning Authority, we call it NGALPA, and then it would need to be approved by NEPA, making sure that it meets certain standards, especially as it relates to the environment, and that we're following zoning codes, et cetera, et cetera. So very, very, very important government body for Jamaica, and also the sustainability of Jamaica. So very happy to be having Mr. Leonard Francis, the CEO of NEPA, coming to Throp-X this year. Few more comments. What's the other? Okay, I got the next topic. So, what's going on, Wolves? Hello, Throp, and good evening. Local, municipal, and allied authorities, fire department, and NEPA, health. Not sure what you're going with that. Okay. The other thing is that that I thought was important. We're going to be talking about this on Sunday, so we can tease it a little bit here today. And that is, and I'm not sure if like you all are kind of aware of what's been happening in the auto industry here in Jamaica, and you're seeing so many more and more Chinese cars come into Jamaica. And I personally believe this is a good thing. I think this is a great thing. And I think the quality of life of Jamaicans are going to increase exponentially, at least on the auto side of things, because the price of these vehicles are becoming lower and lower and lower, and you're getting more and more and more for your dollar. And so there is a bit of a vehicle war happening right now in Jamaica, and we're going to be talking all about it on Sunday. And it's such an interesting time for Jamaica, and the competition is just kind of going higher and higher and higher. And at the end of the day, the consumer wins, and this is one of the points that I always like to make about competition. It's like, it's such a good thing. And because just the average everyday Joe, me and you, we're the ones who benefit from this competition. And again, like the quality of these vehicles and what you get in them is just phenomenal. So just teasing that out a little bit, that is going to be one of the main topics that we're going to be speaking about on Sunday. So I think we are ready to go. Now we are at the 5:30 mark, and we have our guests in the backstage. And I would like, let's hopefully see this works. Perfect. Mlela, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Nice to have you. Welcome to the live stream here. And this is our, bi-weekly. We have 2 live streams per week. This is our Thursday evening live stream. And you're actually our first Throp-X guest.
Okay.
That's part of the series, who's coming on, who is, I guess, being introduced virtually here, and who will also be at the conference. So a big welcome to you.
All right, thank you very much. It's an exciting event. I saw last year's, and that was astounding.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you so much, and very excited to have you be a part of it. And you have like an interesting story, like on multiple levels. And I just want to give you a chance to introduce yourself, and then we can kind of go into the weeds a little bit, if you will.
Sure. Okay. I'm Mlela Matandara-Clarke, a registered architect in Jamaica. I grew up here from age of 13 and left when I was 25. Spent 10 years overseas, traveling the world, I guess. I went to the UK, Singapore, New Zealand, Trinidad, Barbados, and I've just seen just a wide range of, I guess, architectural applications and use of public space and the design of people's spaces. And it's just been really, really interesting to come back home like 7 years ago now, and just applying all of what I've seen and learned and experienced within the Jamaican architectural space and the landscape, and really assisting and designing these features into homes and public spaces and commercial buildings. So that's been a really invigorating experience for me. I also lecture at the Caribbean School of Architecture, where I myself was a student. I was educated at University of Technology, Wolmer's Girls' School, Bishop Gibson Girls' School as well. So I do understand the Jamaican culture very, very well. But I also understand the diaspora extremely well. And a lot of my clients are actually members of the diaspora. So, it's very reassuring to see so many persons actually looking at coming home, returning to Jamaica to invest, to live, to grow their families, to do business. And it's encouraging to see your conference, actually assisting in just the grassroots and the foundational principles, the things that they really need to know and to be versed on to succeed as a returnee in Jamaica. Yeah.
No, thank you for that. And it's so awesome to see things come full circle for you on a multitude of levels, coming back here to Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I was looking at your website, and there are some projects I didn't realize that it was you that was the architect on it, and
Oh, okay.
really exciting stuff. And so we're going to get to that for
Okay.
sure. And I think it's important that people kind of know, as you speak about your experience around the world, but kind of people know the type, I would say very different for Jamaica, the different types of architecture that you're bringing here, really outside the box thinking. And if you don't mind, maybe we could even go to your website to kind of show
Oh, okay.
the
Sure.
project you're working on, if that's okay.
Mhm.
So I guess to start with is initially, like, what made you decide or motivated you to come back? Because there's kind of like a duality, right? There are folks who are living here in Jamaica now who are just trying and dying to get out and feel that there are just way more opportunities abroad or in another country, which very well may be true for them. And then on the other side of that, you have members of the diaspora who are abroad all over the world, who have made that journey and decided and said that Jamaica is too dangerous. I don't want to move back. There's
Yeah.
nothing happening here. There's not a lot of opportunities. I have a better life here in XYZ country or XYZ city outside of Jamaica. And so I'd like to know again what your motivation was and thinking behind moving back to Jamaica.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the question a lot of people, grapple with answering. It's multifaceted. I grew up here, so I've always had a connection to Jamaica. My mom is Jamaican. I brought my children back when my oldest was 13. She's now away at university. The youngest was 6. So my husband said he wanted to come back to spend more time with his parents who were aging at the time. And it was good that we came back at that time because his mother passed away a year later.
Wow.
But I think that's one reason a lot of Jamaicans, the diaspora, return home to spend time with their aging parents. The other reason was looking at the educational benefits. Jamaica did wonders for me from the age of 13, growing up here and going to school here. It was pretty good. It was much more eye-opening, awakening, soul searching, finding myself and what I like to do, which I found that the UK didn't really care very much about, as a person, as a young professional, starting a small business at school, junior achievement, all the different opportunities that the Jamaican educational system gives the young people, you don't find that everywhere. The care that the teachers actually put into grooming, us into young men and women, you don't find that everywhere either. And that's something I think is quite unique to the Jamaican educational system. We might not be getting it right as it pertains to the subjects, but definitely it's still there, that cultural awareness, There's also the natural beauty and the natural context. And what I was able to offer, having had this experience overseas, what I could offer the clientele here, that's kind of different to what exists. Having that international kind of approach to doing business, to doing a project, to working with clients, that is not always, present. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on just a moment.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Something I forgot to do. And I don't want to disappear.
Yeah, please. That's what we need.
Right. Yes. Well, good now. Yes. So it was multifaceted, the whole discussion. We left a very nice house in Kent. Our daughter was just about to start high school, like one of the top grammar schools. But the opportunities that presented themselves outweighed the that unknown factor of, will it work out? Is it the same place that I left? Am I able to adapt? Are we able to manage and survive financially in a country that does not pay as much as, the first world countries, obviously the UK or the US? But the opportunities to do a private business, your own business here, and the respect that you gain as a professional here in Jamaica is greater, definitely, than in the UK or the US, for sure, or Canada, I'm sure. Yeah.
And you kind of alluded to it earlier, but can you give us a sense of what your life was like back in the UK before you moved here?
Sure. Well, so the UK has a ceiling, a salary ceiling, and no matter how many degrees or masters or anything that you have, you will not earn past a certain bracket. So it was very close financially. There's not many opportunities to earn on the side there either, like private projects or second jobs. So those that live in the US find it easier to save a lot more than those that live in the UK. In the UK, it's very much a 9 to 5 kind of lifestyle. Childcare is very, very expensive. So it often means that one parent stays at home with the children. And that's what we found we had to do, manipulate who stays home. I was the higher income earner. So I was the one really that went out because I have a specialism in software and architecture. So it meant a lot more, I guess it was a lot more financial strategic management on our part. In Jamaica, we definitely have more opportunities to earn multiple income streams. Definitely, completely, utterly, completely, definitely. In the UK, it was really just about those paychecks and salaries. Here, it's a lot freer. Yeah.
I see. And I want to know a little bit about, if you can juxtapose your lifestyle, like socially and otherwise, in the UK versus what it is here now in Jamaica, and perhaps you have a preference.
Okay, so like I said, the UK, it was very much about the paycheck.
Right.
Yeah, and really about saving a little bit every day. Whereas in Jamaica, there's definitely opportunities to save a lot more. If you have multiple income streams, which it's very easy to do so here in Jamaica, you could have an Airbnb easily. You can have a property and renting it out. You can have a small business plus you could be a salaried 9 to 5 worker in Jamaica. That's a real possibility. Jamaica is a lot more supportive with it when it comes to small businesses or starting your own business. It's pretty easy to do. I'd say the environment is very friendly towards small businesses and professionals, very respectful of professionals. So the lifestyle we've had has been um, a lot more enjoyable, a lot more enriching. We were able to do the weekend at the hotels on the coast, be back in time for work on Monday, or we could take an additional week off because we work for ourselves now. So it's very easy to do so. We're able to fund private school for the children. That was something that we weren't looking at in the UK either. They have had definitely a more enriching education, culturally, and the opportunities. So my daughter was head girl leadership of this and going after there and here and there and conferences in the States. The younger one is into gymnastics and she's all over the place, and on the national team. That's another thing. For our youngsters, it is far more easier to be a representative of the Jamaica sports societies and different sports teams. If your child is good or has a talent in football, track and field, swimming, gymnastics, you name it, they can make a mark on the Jamaica national teams. It's much easier to get on the teams here than it is in the UK. And that is important. You know, once a child is seen internationally, then all of a sudden, you know, scholarships and all of those opportunities. Whereas in the UK, I found that by the time they reach like 13, 14, that talent, even though they still have it, is not supported by the governments, and you have to find it out of your pocket and so forth. So yeah, the lifestyle is much, much better here.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm sure the weather doesn't hurt either.
Of course not. Yes. I mean, definitely. Yeah. I love not having to buy 3 types of clothes for the year. It's fantastic.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of people in the audience who are really considering and want to do what you, your husband, your family have done together. And one of the first things, and you kind of hit it on the head already, is figuring out their finances. And I get these questions all the time is, you know, what can I do to earn an income? Everybody has like a different way. Some people keep their house in the States, let's say, they rent it out, or maybe they have a business like I would also say a lot of people probably don't have the skill set that you have. I don't think that comes along too too often. Let's say it's like I don't think like a high percentage of people, maybe an architect, are specialized in that way. And so do you have, I know you had mentioned Airbnb, but do you have any other ideas? Are you seeing any gaps in different markets that you think that people should consider going into if they were to think about doing the entrepreneurial route?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I think in every area of business, there are gaps here. One of the gaps is the professionalism. And I do find that professionalism and accountability, integrity is a bit lacking in all of the industries here. Okay.
Absolutely.
So if you find that you have a knack for logistics, you could come and set up a very good courier service or chauffeur service. Even taking children to and from school. As basic as it sounds, that we lack a professional service here in Jamaica. And there's a lot of school children. And if you end up having a fleet of buses that actually have that very good service, I mean, there you go. There's an idea. Someone might want to take that idea. Okay. There's something as simple as gift baskets. We do not have enough gift shops that sell professional gift baskets and very diverse offerings. For example, there's a lot of industries. There's a whole lot of gaps. If anyone wants any ideas, I'm happy to give them. I seem to come up with lots of good ideas that I don't myself implement, but someone can, albeit, take take an idea. But there are so many ideas here in Jamaica. Jamaica is ripe for businesses. There's lots of opportunities. There are grants here to help set up. There is a small business association that does wonders, helps and supports. Um, there's things like workshops, or there's accounting companies. There are not enough accountants here, not enough quantity surveyors, there are not enough engineers. We do not have enough financial advisors. There's not enough childcare centers, professional childcare centers. Those would do well. Private schools, all of our schools are full to the brim. So there are many opportunities. Yeah.
Great ideas. And I also think the mindset or the principle that you kind of built
Mhm.
everything on right now, you just said, as specifically talking about the gap in service,
Mhm.
integrity as well. And I tell people this all the time. If you come in and you do what I would consider the basics, States, UK, Canada, and you do
Yeah.
that here, you're going to be successful,
Yes.
like
Exactly.
wildly successful,
Yes.
wildly successful. So
Yeah.
I think you hit it right on the head. I'd also encourage anybody in the audience, if you have any questions for Mlela, please put them in the chat. I will save them and we'll get back to them later. So any questions at all, and even if you're watching this on the replay, put it in the comment section and we'll shoot them over to Mlela as well afterwards. So in making the move, in pre-moving here,
Mhm.
I'm sure at the time you said we're about 7 years at this point that
Yeah.
you decided to make the move. And one of the main things I hear from people, especially the naysayers in the comments and in the comment section here, surprised nobody has said that already at this point. But it's like they just talk about like how dangerous Jamaica is, and especially back then. When that's
Mhm.
kind of around the time, maybe 5 years ago, I started my podcast here, and the comment sections was rife with how dangerous Jamaica
Mhm.
was. I'll never move back. I'll never
Yeah.
invest. Never put my money there. And so I'm sure you were seeing the headlines
Mhm.
just like everybody else was. I'm sure you saw the comments on
Yeah.
social media, and I'm sure whether with your circle or your family members, they were
Yeah.
saying, "I don't know about this idea." What made you overcome that? Obviously, at this point, since you decided to move here, and kind of what was your mindset at that point in time?
Right. Okay. So actually, one of the reasons we left originally, 10 years before that, so that's 17 years ago, was because of the crime.
Mm.
As a young professional, I just felt so vulnerable. We lived in Portmore at the time. We bought our first house there. And I just felt so vulnerable driving home from meetings and so forth. And at that time, there was a lot of the incidences where they drive you off the road and throw things at your window screen, so you
Oh
have to
wow.
stop,
Okay.
and doing fender benders, so you have to stop. There were lots of those things happening. There were a lot of contract killings, not as many as we saw maybe 4 years ago. All right, so I exited at a time that I felt particularly unsafe. Now, one of the requirements I had with my husband was that if we are returning, because he really wanted to come back, I need a gated neighborhood. I need something that is more comfortable than where we were, and I do not want to be driving through hours of traffic to get home, or waking up at some unearthly hour in the morning to get across town to work. Right. So we settled on an area called above Ligony, right?
Okay.
And that worked quite well for us, and we've been here ever since. But there's not a lot of those neighborhoods. Now, what I've seen is a huge decrease in the amount of criminal activity in Jamaica, especially Kingston. I actually feel a lot safer, a whole lot safer actually than I did 17 years ago when we first left. I would say that the crime is more about who you get mixed up with than somebody really targeting you because they like the chain on your neck. I think as a population, we're just more careful as well. You don't walk on the street with a cell phone in your hand or with your handbag in your hand. So you don't find that many incidences of those things happening. You don't find people killing people for a handbag anymore. I think because they realize that if you're on the road with a handbag now, you might not have very much in there. Most people have a car, so there's less incidences like those. Yeah, so I think because you now have more people with cars, it's harder to reach people that have those expensive items on their person. Most people live in gated communities, so it's harder to engage with people. So it's harder for criminals to enter a compound. So they are just seeing that it's not worth it. They'll go after a larger price, a contract killing that is really worth it. And they seem to be genuinely scared of the police force now. Yeah, which is commendable.
Definitely, and you hit on a lot of great points. One is the gated community, and this is something that like my dad has always said and advised people who are moving back. Is it's I don't know where you grew up in Jamaica, but he always says, do not move back to your old neighborhood, where the folks there, your neighbors that you may love, that you grew up with, who are essentially maybe still at the same socioeconomic level that you left them at. And also the same mindset that you left them at, where you have gone abroad, you've grown, you've had experience, you've had education, you have climbed the corporate ladder, you have this great career, and then you come back to that old neighborhood, and then all of a sudden you build a mansion there.
Yes, that's not wise.
A lot of people still do that, and it's just like, come on, use your common sense. You're putting a bullseye on your back. And he always advises gated community. I think that's a great way to go. It's just safer. And so I think that's a very good strategy that you all had, and a good mindset. And that's something that I encourage people to highly, highly consider. As it relates to like the crime itself, I agree too. I think Jamaica is much safer. I've been here 19 years now. And even here in Negril, our beach used to be dangerous. We used to have to tell here at travelers that, hey, you can't walk the beach at night. And we advise them to take a taxi, not worth it. But now it's like, it's not worth it. It doesn't happen, you know, and it's a lot better, a lot safer. And it's just really a beautiful thing. And like, you have to commend the JCF. They've been doing a phenomenal job. I also think that there is a fear element with criminals now, because they are just so on top of it. And we're also lucky, like you said, we're just not really a society of criminals, of just opportunistic. Right? Like they just see something, they just go and do it. Other countries have that. Like, I'm sure it happens here, but nowhere near the rate that other countries do. And I'm not going to name names, but I've been to other countries where that you can't have that chain, you can't have that handbag sort of thing, or else like they tell you will get robbed. So we're lucky that we don't have that here, at least not any type
not
of
anymore.
scale.
So
that's great. You know, that's great to understand your mindset and how you kind of overcame things, and then that now you've kind of checked certain boxes, and it's worked for you guys. So kind of getting into the career aspects of in your business here in Jamaica. It's a family business, I understand, right?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, awesome. And so if you can just tell us a little bit about that, how you, like, even if you could just tell us the process. I think a lot of people will be interested in it, and like there is no detail too small or too granular. Even like the idea of starting the business, the process that you went through to actually the documents and this ministry, that ministry. We'd love to hear all of it.
Okay. All right. Fine. So it all starts with your TRNs, right? So you just go to company's house, or you can do it online actually. Pay a fee of $25,000. Reserve your company name, and then you can register your company with 2 directors or 1 director. You can there's several different types of company you can have. We went with a limited, and we've been operational for the last 6 years. So it's been good. Tax wise is the challenge. I think you must make sure you have a good accountant to stay on top of all of those things. Human resource wise is also a challenge. I think it's just the generation that we have now is quite different, and we're in a transition of working, different types of jobs.
Sorry, which generation are you referring to?
The younger generation.
Okay, that's the good
I know
point.
I'm young, but I mean the ones that are coming out of university now. It has changed globally. It's not just in Jamaica. So you have to be very strategic about how you run your company, human resource wise, freelancing, remote work, getting remote assistance as well. So you may set up here, but maybe most of your workforce is actually in India, in the UK, and the US, So be smart about how you set up your operations. You don't have to employ only Jamaicans, which is very important to note. Yeah, it's good to have a balance, especially when you're a returnee. Have a balance of persons from different groups that you have in your company. Is very, very important, because there is that saying, the bad mind. Yeah, theory. Yes, it's very, very present, right? So you have to be discerning when you're employing people. And you have heard of stories, horrible stories of persons who, start a business, or they start building their house, and they engage workers and so forth, and those workers turn around and do some really horrible things because of that bad mind principle, thinking that you have a lot of money and you're just being mean, when really and truly, as returnees, we do not have a whole lot. We have to be very efficient with what we have. So the business has been in operation for 6 years. We offer a range of architectural design services, master planning. So we master plan small, large pieces of land for persons. A family might have 17, 20 acres of land, or 2 acres of land, and they have no clue what to do with it, but they want to convert it into a working asset. So maybe apartments, or a townhouse development, or a commercial development. And what we do is we realize that piece of land into that working capital for people. We have a range of different price brackets, and we do assist persons with getting that idea through to the bank. So we prepare it, package it, all of the nice pictures, the animation, the figures that go with it to tell the bank how much you'd make off of this property. And then we approach banks sometimes on their behalf. We do source investors for clients as well. So we have quite a few of those projects across the island. We have projects in Portland, Negril, St. Anne, St. Mary, all over, St. Thomas, which is emerging right now. And we do enjoy seeing that joy on a client's face when they realize that, wow, I could have had that, or I can have something like that from that piece of land. So I'm really enjoying what we're doing. Good things, big things to come, which you can see in Jamaica, that is across Jamaica. So I do encourage the diaspora to come and get a piece of the pie, because Jamaica is booming. The real estate industry is definitely booming. And when real estate booms, all the service industries benefit. So nothing is too small. It could be supplying flowers to the hotels. It will be a good business to do. Yeah.
Excellent. Well said. And what gave you the confidence to start this business? And I think starting any business can be just fear-inducing, but to be doing it essentially from abroad in a different country, in a business environment that you may not be as familiar with, what gave you that confidence? Like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to be successful.
We're going to be successful part is the piece I did not know. Okay.
Right.
But it's more like a passion for what you're doing. and also the ability to connect with people. Um, there's also the fact that we started, if you note the dates or the year, during COVID. So when we came here, we had everything set up. So I was lecturer at the university, and that was a side job while I set up different projects. And my husband worked for a well-known practice, and that was one of the benefits, that we came here with a job offer. He had a job offer, and that job came with certain benefits and everything. Um, COVID came along about 10 months, 11 months later, right? And the industries went on pause, like the whole world went on pause, right? Everyone was worrying about their job and security and their health, right? And their life, because we didn't know what was going to happen. Now, my husband actually, he was asthmatic and he had high blood pressure. So he was told that he had to go on site every day. And I'm like, no, there's no way. You can't be doing that. It's the beginning of COVID. So we had to make a difficult decision to leave that job. And as that happened, we're like, right, well, we're going to have to start our own business. And that's how we started that business. Yeah, if it wasn't for COVID, we would probably have waited a bit longer, a lot longer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was, but it was a good decision because I was still working at the university. And we were able to, see the business. We had a few clients when we started. But because of how Jamaica is, you have the government procurement system. You can go on their website, GoJap, and you can actually register and supply the government with different products, services. So they have projects there that you can bid for. And three of our projects actually came from that. So as we started the business, I'm like, yeah, we got to bid. So we started bidding. We had no knowledge of how to do this thing. And we started the paperwork, and we submitted about 4 projects, and we got all 4 in a row. Yeah, my industry was like, how are you doing this, Mlela? What are you doing? But yeah, our first projects were for NHT. We did master planning for 3 communities, which are just about to come on stream because they were on pause. And amazing, one was 300 acres, one was 500, 600 acres. And they were amazing projects. We were also doing a hotel in Negril, yeah.
Awesome.
And then we also got a school to design. So God blessed us. That's what I have to say. And we have not looked back. It's been good. We have a good supply of projects, and we're looking for more. If anyone would like to work with us, the website Matandara-Clarke.com, which you can look it up. It's
Oh, sorry. I put your website in the comments.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So, and somebody's asking, what's the website you get the government jobs from?
Go.
Oh. Hold on. I think 1 second. We got a freeze here. 1 second, everybody. Just as we were about to get that essential piece of information. 1 second. Let me see if we can get her
Okay,
back.
we're back.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're back. Oh, yeah, yes. You were just about to say it and it froze.
GoJepp, GOJEPP. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, GoJepp.
Yes. So you can register. Once you register your company, you can then go on there and register. Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for that. Now, so you it seems like you do like a wide variety of projects,
Yes.
from developments to hotels to even somebody's dream home.
Yes, we do.
Okay, excellent. Because I know a lot of people are looking for that.
Yes, we've done a number of homes, and we love just seeing that joy on the person's face. We presented to one returnee today. He's from the States, returning to St. Thomas, has some family land there. And even though his context at the moment is in transition. As you know, St. Thomas itself is in transition. There's lots of land around there, but you have to go down a road and you'll find a piece, or you'll find an old house that someone might want to sell. That I just told y'all a way to find a piece of land in St. Thomas. Okay, it's very hard to find. But you know, he and his wife, they were just so happy with what we showed them this morning. And yeah, that's why we do homes. They take a lot, but we love to do them. Yeah.
Awesome. And can you, if you could, can you explain to us or share with us how your global experience has influenced what you're doing here in Jamaica, and how you're applying it to your process now?
My global experience that I've gained. Okay. Yes. So I think the best and most relevant one is Singapore. Because Singapore came from a real grassroots place to something that you see today, a first world nation. And it's just something that Jamaica can become very easily. I mean, you don't want it to become as hard as Singapore can be, but all of the benefits, all of the, like the quality of urban spaces, the public spaces that people use, it'd be wonderful to see our public spaces be converted to, you know, places that people can freely enjoy. See our beaches being a bit more publicly accessible. And
So,
those beaches.
sorry to interrupt you. Like, what makes you? And so I interviewed the Prime Minister
Yes.
a month ago or whatever it was, and he had said Jamaica will become the Singapore of the West.
Yeah.
And I would like to know, like, what perhaps gives you the confidence that we can have a version of that here in Jamaica?
Jamaica has all the ingredients. And it's just about the people working together to make those happen. It's about cleaning up our agencies so that it's, you know, the integrity, the honesty that breeds confidence. And then with confidence comes more investors and more genuine investors that are interested in our cultural success. So not just seeing hard buildings come up. It's about embracing the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican environment, and really honoring the Jamaican people so that they are connecting with their spaces and not being blocked out of their spaces, if you know what I mean. So that we don't have to have so many gated communities for people to feel safe. You can actually start to engage with the streets, and you have walkable streets and enjoyable urban centers. That, you know, you don't have to have so many security guards blocking people from coming in because they want people to enjoy the spaces, you know. So it's things like that that I can see that are not hard to achieve, but require say a drive by the government to really embrace integrity, honesty, which then breeds consumer satisfaction, and then also will just that will then kind of wash the country then, because when people see leadership behaving a certain way, you see the other persons, the population will start to move in that direction as well, you know. So that's why I think we can do it, but only if leadership takes us in that direction. Yeah.
Great answer. Great point. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I was asking you about asking you about your inspirations from your experience around the world, and your inspiration bringing it here to Jamaica.
Yeah, but that is really why I see Singapore as the biggest inspiration to me. The years that we spent there have really influenced how I perceive development and also how I design, you know. So the tropicality, the climate responsive architecture, the sustainability strategies they employ, those public spaces, how they really allow people to be integrated and embrace those spaces and use those spaces and enjoy the spaces, a transportation system, just enriching a user's experience using the public transport system such that They would rather park their car at a park and ride and take the public transport system into the urban centers. That's where we need to reach, as a people.
And are you seeing your Jamaican architectural colleagues and urban planners being open to this framework, this thinking for the future of Jamaica?
Yes, my group is very much about, we have similar ethos. I mean, it's an experience that I guess gives me a kind of a different perspective on design. We do go a lot further, I think. So my husband says to go too far, in what we give in a design, and what we put into it, and all of the different things that we think about when we're designing. So when someone says design a school or design a home or a master plan for a residential community, we do really think about all of the different strands and attributes when we're designing it. The people spaces, the internal spaces, ventilation, climatic responsiveness, and the materials and so forth. Yeah.
Do you know or have any insight as to whether the government, Jamaican government, is thinking along these lines? Like you said, they having people wanting to go to just drop their car off and use public transportation instead, and make it more of an integrated design, so society is intentionally collaborating, if you will. Are they thinking along those lines?
Well, I do think they are somewhat. So, for example, we did work with the Tourism Enhancement Fund on the hip strip in Montego Bay. So we were the architects for the upgrade to the hip strip, which I hope will be implemented in the coming years, next few years. They have been starting some of the things that are required for it to happen, like moving the electric wires underground.
Wow.
There's also the landscaping and beautification, widening of the sidewalks, creation of different park-like areas and seating areas, signage, upgrading the signage, and there's also the important thing of park and ride. So parking the cars at a central parking spot, and then riding the shuttle all the way from the bottom by Toby's Resort, Kent, down Kent Avenue, and then up all the way to the Old Fort Bay marketplace. So that in itself will alleviate all of the hip strip from all that traffic that it presently has, and make it a lot more user friendly, and it actually would become pedestrianized. And that is one intervention. And I think by starting that on the hip strip, you can start to implement the park and ride elsewhere. Because once people start to see that it can work, you'll start seeing it working in other locations as well.
And you had alluded to before, one of the things or the boxes that needed to be checked before you moved here is that you didn't want to be sitting in hours of traffic.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love Kingston. I love going there. I love spending time there. But the one thing I hate about it is the traffic.
Yeah.
And one, I don't understand how people just accept that. I guess you have no choice. So maybe that's it. And then two, I would hate for that scenario to be brought here to Negril. So my first question is from your perspective, how do you see a way in that being alleviated in Kingston? Because Kingston to me it continues to be a growing population. There's a lot of development that continues to happen there. More people are moving there. Like you said, Jamaica is booming in many ways. And so it seems like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And so my question is, like, what are some ideas that you may have that could make it better in the short term and the long term?
Oh, okay. All right. So we do need a park and ride system. We do need an improved public transportation system. There are other systems that have been implemented in other countries, like the tram, which we used to probably have in Jamaica. We had downtown, which we do need to reintroduce some kind of motorized transport system, so that you can have less cars on the road in between different parts of Kingston. Yeah, so you might reserve certain roads for regular vehicular traffic, but then there's a quicker route to get downtown if you take the tram from Halfway Tree, or if you take the tram from Manor Park. And that tram will start from Manor Park and then stop in Halfway Tree, or stop on Constant Spring Road, and then stop again, and then stop again, right? That is a system that you could easily implement, because we already have one straight road that takes you from uptown to downtown. So, those are the strategies we kind of need, and they're bold movements. Another way is by having that bus system, that they started with the school buses, but if they could start it with just those urban centers again across Kingston, that would help amazingly. If you were able to, so for example, when you take the Highway 2000 up to from Maypen up to Ferry, it is super fast. The instant you pass Ferry, you're gonna take another hour or 45 minutes to get from Ferry to Ligony or Hartford. It's horrendous. So imagine if you had a park and ride right there, and you took your car from Ocho Rios and you parked right there, and you did your business in Kingston. The shuttle comes, it takes you right back there, or the tram or the train, and you took your car and you went back to where you needed to go. That's another option you could have,
And is there room for this tram?
Oh yeah, there's definitely room.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at Halfway Tree Road, that already is set up for a tram. You could have a whole lane that's reserved for a tram system and still have some cars on the road. It's pretty awesome, but it's bold movements, and it takes persons within the Ministry of Transport and NWA to work together to create something like this. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. And my second question, very selfish question, is I'll leave this open. What do you think Negril can do?
Oh my gosh. Now, in my practice, we are about to do a pro bono master plan for Negril.
Oh.
And that's because we see so much potential, but we don't want it to be ruined. And we would love to have at least a base to start with for the discussions to happen. I think there are nuggets or pockets of ideas around Negril. And I think embracing those, but incorporating them in an overall master plan that doesn't just say move the town from where it is now. It actually talks about where would we best be able to grow, and what do we need to grow. When you talk about a town center, what is it really? What is it that you really need in a town center, and how does it service the tourists, which is a vital industry for Negril, and the people, and how do you service those parallel industries? So it's those conversations that I think would be best discussed and deliberated in a master plan. I saw the idea for the markets, the new markets, which I think is great, but it's a bit hard. I saw the idea for the beach park, and I think they just need to all come together and be more connected and cohesive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. I could tell you, we as Negril community would welcome that with open arms, because we understand and we know, especially the people who've been here like way longer than I have, and they understand and see the potential in Negril. And there's like so many things that we have about this community and this town that are just so much better than different tourist towns around the world that are doing far better than we are. But they have just have the attention, and they're getting the resources to reach their potential. But I think we could be out of this world. And you're right. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to add, what I love about where Negril's at now is it still has the chance. Some of our other towns are blighted, and take a lot more to bring them to where they need to be. Like, for example, Maypen, right? Negril is a treasure. And if it's not dealt with the right way, we could end up with a lot of hard surfaces, a lot of concrete, and not the right blend of urban green spaces and people spaces and streetscape commercial activity, and you
What do
want
you
those things. What's up?
What do you mean by streetscape commercial activity?
Commercial activity.
What does that
Okay,
mean?
our jerk people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need those people. That's part of our culture, right? We
Yeah.
need our fishermen. We need our jerk centers. We need the informal restaurants. It's all part of our culture. We need those stages where persons can feel free to come and do a music vibe. You know,
Mhm.
we have to have those things. And if we keep closing off our streets, we end up with empty streets that have no energy at the end of the day. And the best thing for Negril would be to open it up like that.
Mm.
We don't need any more all-inclusive hotels closing the gates to people. We want people to enjoy the Jamaican culture in a safe way, vibrant way. We need those streets to be connected. We need our regular local people to also benefit from the commercial activity generated from our tourist industry. And our tourists are really coming to Jamaica for that culture. They're not coming just to come into a hotel and sit down for 2 weeks. They're coming to enjoy the food, the energy of the people, the ITAL craft, yeah, and ITAL people energy, not the engineered one.
Right.
It's important for Negril, especially.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
you're speaking our language like crazy. And what I've found here over the years is that because there isn't a master plan, a lot of what's happening here, it's in Negril, it's like it's being driven by the private sector, but
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's not coming together. And you'll see one person do this investment here
Yeah,
and one person
exactly.
do another investment down the road, and it's just
Yeah.
non-cohesive. And and people are making bets on thinking where this is going to go in 10 years
Yeah.
and that's going to happen in the next X
Yeah.
amount of years. And we're just being guided, and you can't really blame them. We're just being guided by what we know. But if there were, like you said, if there was a master plan, I
Yes.
think we would be able to reach the full potential as
Exactly.
individual entrepreneurs, but then
Yes.
also more importantly as a community.
Yes. There's that word. Important. And Negril already has a vibrant community of business people, entrepreneurs, hoteliers, and they all work together quite seamlessly. So it's something that we really need to harness, that vibrant natural energy that's existing in Negril. So yeah.
Yes, yes. And the last thing I'll say on Negril is, and you kind of hit it already in terms of like the potential of the design.
Yeah.
I went to Colombia, Medellin, like I think it was 2 Decembers ago.
Amazing. Yeah.
And the one thing that I really loved about how it was designed is like the amount of trees that they had
Yes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this YouTube documentary on like the architect who designed it
Yes.
and how
Yes.
purposeful it was done,
Yeah.
and just how it's cooled the place down. And it's a
Exactly.
city, but it also has like this tropical feel at the same
Yes.
time. And I think like with climate change and global warming happening here, I'm already a hot person, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I
Yes.
don't want to go outside and walk. And like even here, travelers at our hotel, like we need more trees. We need to cool down
Yes.
this environment because I feel like it's only going to get hotter. And I think
Yeah.
it's important that we think down the road and have this
Yeah.
mindset. It's like, how do we naturally cool our community
Yes.
and bring the temperature down? And there's an example like Medellin that has already done
Yeah.
it. So I'd say like I would wish and hope we have something like that in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
I want to go to your website here. Are you able to share your screen? Like to go to your website? I'm gonna see if I can.
Mm,
I'd rather you, if you have the ability to do that.
I do.
Okay. And yeah, if you can just walk us through whatever projects you want to show us and cool things that are happening in your world, we'd love to see it. And then
Okay.
again, as you're looking that up, I just want to remind everybody, I have a few questions here, but if you have any other questions for Mlela, please put it in the comments and I'll put it aside as we kind of get into the fourth quarter here of our interview. Is it working for you?
Yeah. I was just setting up the
Okay.
areas. All right, so this is our
Sorry, I'm not.
website.
Oh, wait, there we go.
You
All
see,
right, 1 second. There we go.
are you seeing it?
Yeah, we can see it now.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, this is our website. Matandara-Clarke Architects. We have a team of 7. We normally go to 8. So we have a good spot at 8. We work with a group of softwares that give us a process called BIM. It allows us to be extremely efficient with a small team on large projects, which has been amazing. It's actually the software that I'm a specialist in, so we kind of embrace that in our office. What you're seeing on the screen is one of them is a project called Kildare in Portland. This one here is a project in Falmouth, in Trelawney, and that one there is the hotel in Negril.
Which hotel is that?
It's called
I don't know if you're allowed to say. If not, no.
yeah, it's called
Okay.
Sandy Haven Royale. Actually, she is looking for an investor to partner with her on that hotel.
Okay.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. It's a 196 room boutique hotel, and she actually currently operates Sandy Haven Hotel on the Strip, and this
Okay.
one is also on the 7 Mile Strip. This is just an array of different projects we're working on. If you're seeing that diagonal kind of mosaic thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes. So some of our clients currently, JPS, NHT, Sandy Haven. We're working with the National Education Trust, Tourism Enhancement Fund, um, and quite a few others, BGLC. So we work with also residences. This is Sunridge Resorts, Villa Resorts, which is in Oracabessa, that picture. And this just tells you a bit about the different services that we offer. We've done towers, we've done small residences, we do interior design as well. That's part of the Kildare project, which is about to start construction. This is a project for JPS Harbor Street.
Beautiful.
And then some of our projects here, there's the Negril Hotel, which has quite a few other pictures.
Lovely.
Yeah, interiors. And this is the project for Gymnastics Association of Jamaica, which is looking for a sponsor. Anyone wants to sponsor? And that's a Tourism Entertainment Academy done for the Tourism Enhancement Fund. They're starting with the online virtual offering first, and then see if they can build that kind of facility, which is a gallery, performing arts theater for Montego Bay, and a training center for all of the artisans. And then over here is a pop-up market for Negril, which Negril could definitely use.
Can we take a look?
Yeah, pop-up market. It's pretty much if you've been to Kingston and you see like a marketplace on the corner intersection of Halfway Tree Road and I think it's Eastwood Park Avenue. And it's pretty much a series of like container structures that offer different foods, restaurant groups. So it's pretty good. It's like a temporary facility that doesn't look temporary, and it just gives a very beautiful nighttime vibe. Ice cream, coffee, all kind of different offerings in one place. So
Lovely.
that was the idea. It was for one of those pieces of land that's on the opposite side of the beach road.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of turning it into parking or leaving it as marshlands, we then converted it into a pop-up market. night market or day market. Yeah. This is the Harbor Street property for JPS. It's just been there, lying there, derelict, and this would have been the Caribbean's first solar towers. So this would be completely powered by solar energy.
Wow.
The Jamaica Public Service. Yeah, that was one of their requirements. And this is downtown on the waterfront.
Beautiful.
That's a housing development, low income, we call. And this is about to start construction as well. Presently going through the approvals process. And this is low income housing. The price point, this is being done by altruistic developments. And the price point would be 22 million on the market.
Wow.
Yeah, quite nice. Yeah.
I hope rich people don't come and take these up.
I know. No, they're reserving. They're actually going to be interviewing applicants.
Excellent. We had that problem here in Negril with a scheme back in the day.
Yeah, that is a serious issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, by interviewing the candidates, they should be able to get genuine persons who need that type of housing.
Awesome.
At that. But the beauty of it is that it does not feel like low income housing.
Oh, it doesn't look like
that was the intent. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
This is a JPS customer service center, which will be on Ruthven Road. They have the present structure there, and we're going to be taking that down and putting up this structure. Yeah, so we've been working with JPS to upgrade all of their facilities across the island.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then this, EcoVista, let's see, this is EcoVista, which is a project by the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. It's a 200-acre property in Trelawney, and it's going to be the Caribbean's first eco-city and knowledge city, smart knowledge city campus. So the idea that they have, their university, but the idea they have is to bring a hub of international universities to be able to research and provide knowledge and support and to give international degrees right here in Jamaica. So they would also be supported by the residential components. A part of the development is a low-income affordable housing. 36 acres of affordable housing across the road. And then on this property here, adjacent to the beach, is 3 hotels and high-end villas and overwater villas and commercial offerings as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and this one is Kildare. As you know, it's one of our. I love this villa. It's a 1-bedroom villa solution looking at the sea in Portland, Buff Bay, Portland. And it just, we master planned this for the clients. It's on 5.5 acres of land. And it's just a very simple villa. And it's just, it's naturally ventilated. It's off-grid. So it has its own water supply, storage, and it's powered from solar energy. And it has a plunge pool, and it's just really sexy. It's like, yeah. We do these huge master plans. This is in Guyana.
Okay.
And they just came to us and said, we have 26 acres of land. Can you put stuff on it? And we did a hotel for operator to take over. We did 3 condo buildings for the client to sell. And then they have a high-end, villa, lakeside villa community. So that's another exciting project. So that's the overall with a commercial retail shopping mall and so forth. And if you know Guyana's on the move.
Definitely is.
We also did a wellness village along the strip, the Hanover Lucy strip. And a beautiful property. It has ruins from Henry Morgan's great house, first house, the pirate Henry Morgan. And we converted that into a restaurant and put in a wellness center and residences. And this actually is one of the residences in that project, which is an ocean villa view villa in Hanover, looking at the sea. Wow. And these villas are like perched in the hills. And we've just created this beautiful community looking at the sea. All of the villas have sea views on there. That's 50 acres. Yeah, and that's just a few of the projects we enjoy creating. We enjoy our challenge, and we are open for more challenges. We do projects, joint venture projects as well. So if persons have land and they don't know the first step, and they don't have the, I say, the available income to bring it to the approvals process, we will assist you with that, just to get your land converted into an asset. And these are other projects that we've worked on. Yeah, all on the website.
Awesome. I have the website up there for people to take a look at. And just so you know, just so everybody knows, what is a contact information if they want to find out more information from you or email you?
Okay, so my number is a WhatsApp number, 894-893.
Hold on. I always caution people, like, be sure about putting out your WhatsApp there on this. I don't want people killing
It's okay.
you.
It's a business number. It's the business number. It's also on the website.
Go ahead. 876.
Yeah, it's okay. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's on the website. It's the same number on the website. We have a landline, and then we have that number, which travels with me, so that you can always get a response. We have the Instagram page, Matandara-Clarke Architects, and then we have the website. Our business is in Kingston, next to Los Shushan, so we have an office there as well. We also have a location in Orlando. So we just opened that location to try and open up the market a little bit more, and access some of the clients in the States. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I just want to say too, is kind of going back to my question before about your global experience and bringing it to Jamaica. And I think you're just a quintessential example of the impact that a returning resident can have on Jamaica. I mean, even your whole example that you gave of Negril, the pro bono work, that all these projects that you graciously showed us and shared with us, I think it's amazing. And then you're one very important but also very impactful example of people in diaspora, what they can do and the impact they can have here in Jamaica. So thank you. I thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I could see the style, the feel, the spirit of architecture in Jamaica changing and being more, I wouldn't even say futuristic, but just more contemporary, and also at the same time still aligning with Jamaica and its culture. You know, there's nothing there that I saw there that I was like, oh, that's kind of gaudy, or like that won't fit here. Extremely tasteful. I'm not saying that because you're here. That's my
thank you.
Even you're seeing it in the comments, people really appreciating your work.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I know we're over the hour mark here, and I apologize. Do you have time for a few questions?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Let's go through it. The diplomat of the era says, what are your thoughts on non-conventional building materials like foam?
Okay, so that's interesting. We actually designed infill housing solution when the government did the low-income housing competition a few years ago. Yeah, we actually won our category with that solution. It was a foam solution, and using foam for the walls itself, the infill panels, and it is a very cost-effective solution. At that time, it was $8,000 a square foot all in for that, to build with the foam, like everything, doors, windows, the materials. Yeah, which was fantastic. And I don't think they're that far ahead now. I don't think it's increased as much as we'd think at the moment. But yeah, it's a great material. I also worked with H&L True Value on their latest modular housing solution, flat packed modular housing solution, which again, that came in very affordable. and that's an alternative material. So that's essentially ply with insulation material, and it's really, really affordable. So yeah, and they sell the kits. So yeah, I'm all about.
And just kind of a follow-up to that, you made me, as with your answer, made me think of another question. Do you get your any materials, whether finishing or building materials, from China? And I asked that question in the context of seeing particularly a lot of American developers starting to
Mhm.
go to China to source
Yeah.
materials, source finishing materials, and kind of want to know your thoughts on that and experience with that.
Okay, so yes, we the projects that we work on, the developers do tend to um, go to China for materials. We do try to spec our local materials as well, as much as we can. The issue we have is with the consistency, the quality, and supply. So we tend in Jamaica to run out of materials a lot.
Mm.
Our raw materials, cements, blocks, those tend to be in good supply, and sand. When it comes to steel, there's only two steel companies in the market at the moment, really, that can supply that large quantity, and that's ARC and Tankweld. And I think ARC at the moment is breaking into the market really well with a solid pricing structure and so forth. Um, so yeah, there is a need, and that need drives people to China. Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
demand.
The
Yeah.
demand. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people do that, especially with finishings and even before, like this has nothing to do with architecture or building, but just before you got on, I was talking about Chinese cars coming to
Yes.
Jamaica,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
they're great. I mean,
They look
literally
great.
like half the price. I
Yes.
just drove one. This really luxurious feeling for
Yeah.
like fraction of the cost for, say, definitely an American car or a Japanese car or even a
Yeah.
European car. So it's interesting times in that
It
sense.
is definitely, definitely.
All right, sorry. Let's get through these questions. I just
Yeah.
realized I'm pulling
Okay.
you. Okay. Um, Oh, I already asked that question. This is a question kind of going back to your move,
Okay.
from Unique Thompson. How do I go about doing a children's nursery and gift basket?
Okay, all right. There's two different things really, but the children's nursery, I guess you need to have an idea of how to run one. So I guess having that background knowledge, or teaming up with someone, partnering with someone who does have that knowledge, it's about the organization of it. That is a quintessential part of a children's nursery. Once you can service that nursery professionally, once you can decorate it so that it's clean, professional, hygienic, and just of a certain level at which the general public will want to bring their children there, you will have a winning product. And if you can set one up in Kingston, St. Thomas, Montego Bay, or if you can start a chain of nurseries, like in England, there's one called Bumblebees or something like that that my child used to go to, and there's also Smart Kids, and there's lots of different chains in England. What we don't have in Jamaica is that kind of quality nursery. Um, we have a few, and everyone fights to get into those few. And I always wonder, why doesn't someone open a nursery at an international standard, like Montessori?
Hey,
There's lots of
that's
different.
where I went.
Okay, yes, you came out really well.
Thank
But
you.
there's lots of different types of nurseries, and
Yeah.
it's amazing that we have such a diverse population of different levels of professionals and um, entrepreneurs, and we don't have that same offering in terms of nurseries. The gift basket idea, uh, you start with an online offering, and then once you get that going and you start fielding out what could I put in that gift basket, that would make it unique, or how can I target certain holidays, seasons, like Teachers Day. There's never enough gift baskets. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, there's so many different holidays in Jamaica, and you don't have to be in one location to service that population. You can start with that online, and then you can set up a small location, and you'll see just how well that takes off. Like, yeah.
I believe it. Great ideas, and thank you for the advice for that person. Two comments here. Locally Global with Wendy says, "Hi, Throp and
Hey,
Mlela.
Wendy.
Bragging on Mlela.
Love
She was
Wendy.
part of my delegation to Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and her design won the Smart City Award for Eco Vista. It was
Yeah.
my honor to meet her in UAE. Join us in 2026."
Wendy again is amazing. The amount of support that Wendy gives to those that have a unique business idea or need different types of support is amazing. So I mean, if Wendy can share her details. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
She's
Yeah.
she's a big part of this community, big supporter of
Oh,
this
cool.
community.
Yes, she is awesome. Yeah.
And it's from Winsome
Hi,
Sutherland.
Winsome. Yeah.
And
Winsome's awesome too.
two more quick questions, and we'll wrap up there. The CK is asking, do you offer full build out or just design services?
We do design services. We have a team that we can refer to, or different teams that we can refer or give our projects to confidently for them to build out. Yes.
Okay, excellent. And last question, this is from Garth. What projects are actually in progress?
Okay, so that's a question I'd need to get more clarity on, but I'll answer both that I think could be answered. Okay, so there's one in progress in terms of about to start construction. There's about 1, 2 Hellshaw, townhouse developments, Kildare in Portland, Sunridge Resorts in Wakabessa, JPS operational facilities. And then those are in construction. At the moment, we have 3 houses. We have a school. We've got
So a lot.
no, it's not that much.
It sounds like a lot to me, but keep going.
We have one of JPS's facilities in construction, right? Actually, 2 of them in construction at the moment. So yeah, it takes about 4 to 5 years for a architectural company to get projects started in construction, because it takes a while to get those projects, then seed them, then get them through the approvals process, and then to start construction. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And thank you again so much, Mlela, for your time this evening. Like I said, I know we went over. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing all your projects that you're doing.
That's okay.
And your
My
stories.
pleasure.
We are very much looking forward to having you at Throp-X 2025 in November. I'm personally looking forward to meeting you in person. Okay. And once again, thank you so much for coming on. And I will give you the last words that you can say anything that you want, any advice. And then also closing out, if you can just give your contact information one more time after your send-off, please.
Sure. I just say really that the Throp Investment Conference, I saw the initiative, I'm like, wow, this is fantastic, amazing. It's really giving the opportunities for the diaspora to connect, to grow, to develop ideas, their visions, the concepts, to actually bring them to reality. And I think that's really important. I think that's the way that Jamaica is going to grow, by the diaspora, because if you look, you see a lot of these projects that are instrumental in Jamaica are really seeded by our diaspora, and then for the government to support. And that's important. Without the government support, a lot of our initiatives will go to waste. And if we can unite globally, Jamaica will just become like the awesome place that it should be to benefit its local people at all levels. At all levels. It's very important to stress at all levels and all of our sectors, the bus drivers, the nurses, the doctors, the teachers, the children going to school. They should all feel really, really, really proud to be in Jamaica and not want to leave. And that's how it should be. You know, if you go to Singapore, that is really how people feel about Singapore. The Singaporeans are very proud, and you can see that cultural expression, and we should be proud as well as Jamaicans to be here. It's a powerful place. It's an expressive place. It holds a lot of potential, and our people can do so well here. And you can see how well our athletes do with just a little. So you can imagine if we have a lot, what we could do. Amazing. I am looking forward to being part of the conference itself. I wasn't able to do it last year. I was away at the exact time. It's amazing. But I'm looking forward to connecting, to growing, to seeding some ideas with people. And if anyone has an excellent idea, or if they have like land just sitting there or property sitting there, let me help you. Let me help you convert it to an asset that you can make money off of, that you can turn into generational wealth as well. Yeah, that's about it. And thank you so much for having me on the program. I've really enjoyed myself. I've done what I like to do, which is maybe be impactful for someone this evening. And I'm looking forward to more. Yeah.
You definitely were extremely impactful this evening. And thank you. Very well said. Great closing statements. And I know that's resonating with a lot of people who are watching this right now. And so just one more time, if you could just give us your contact information, where can people follow you?
Sure. The quickest way to reach me is WhatsApp, 894. So it's 876-894-8938. And then email info@matandara-clarke.com, which is also on the website. And that phone number is also on the website, which is www.matandara-clarke.com. And that is also the Instagram. And that's about it.
Okay, I just threw that in the comment section there, as well as the website. So that should be easy for everybody. And thank you once again, Mlela. Wishing you a good night and looking forward to meeting you in November.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Take care, Winthrop.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Awesome. That was fantastic. And thank you all, as usual, for your great questions and your engagement this evening. And that was a taste to what's to come with Throp-X. And I really enjoyed that conversation. I learned a lot. And it's just also a great example, like going through her portfolio, her website portfolio of what she's designing. And I mean, it's what we need and what I'm looking forward to seeing Jamaica as it grows and as it builds out. So that was really wonderful and really beautiful. Last thing I want to mention, as I mentioned earlier about Throp-X, is that we are starting our public campaign next week, and we are already halfway sold out. I haven't done any advertising, nothing on Instagram. This has been only organically done here and talked about here on these live streams. And again, I can't thank you all, everybody who's already bought their tickets and purchased, but we're going to for sure sell out this year. I can already tell you. And I would encourage you, if you're thinking about it, to please make that decision quickly, especially before next week, I would say, or in the next couple of weeks, let's say. We're going to be opening up to the wider public. And I know people are very much interested in the real estate tours. Those are also going to sell out, especially the South Coast real estate tour. We haven't started advertising that at all. People are already buying tickets for that in isolation alone. So again, if you're interested in any of these, go to the website, go to Throp-X.com, take a look, and please purchase them before we open up to the public. Of course, this is open to anybody. We love and welcome anybody to come to this conference, but I want, of course, you, this Throp community who've been sitting on these live streams and being with me on the Thursdays and the Sundays to get first dibs if you're thinking about it. So if you know a Thropper out there who's considering and they haven't bought their ticket, just let them know that we're already 50% sold out at this point in time, and we're pacing well ahead of last year. And I would hate for it to be a situation that the core community, if you will, doesn't have access to the tickets but after we open it up to the public next week. So anyway, Thank you all for joining this evening. We are going to be back on Sunday afternoon. That's going to be another great live stream. Looking forward to hanging out with you all then. Thank you for being here, being engaging, and I will see you on Sunday. Have a great rest of the night and a great Friday and Saturday tomorrow. Take care. Throp here again. As you're probably hearing, Jamaica is on an unprecedented economical tear, and I know many people are interested to learn how they might be able to buy property in Jamaica, move here, or even start a business. Enter Throp-X. This is my annual Jamaica investment conference hosted at Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. If you're even considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the best low-risk opportunity to do your due diligence and network with the very people driving the country forward. This event brings together a group of hand-picked, trusted, top-of-their-field individuals, the best developers, contractors, real estate pros, lenders, and government partners, all under one roof to help you make your move. This is very much an action-focused premium conference experience geared towards empowering you with the tools and team necessary to create your Jamaica dream. We've partnered with the Tax Administration of Jamaica to help you get your TRN and even open a bank account, all conveniently located on conference property. One of the most popular parts of the conference is a real estate tour. It's the best way to understand Jamaica's real estate market, seeing and experiencing properties firsthand so you can compare apples to apples. Another incredibly valuable part of the conference is the people you will meet. Attendees have been some of the most dynamic, inspiring individuals I have met doing incredible things with their lives. As always, this year will be fun, educational, and actionable, giving you the tools, insights, and connections to invest, build, and move to Jamaica. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list.